Joe Alt from Notre Dame has been getting hyped up as an elite prospect for multiple years now, and we've just recently seen him officially declare for the 2024 NFL Draft. There are multiple teams that need a major upgrade on the offensive line, but the question is, can Joe Alt be the guy to fix that? Or is he an overrated prospect that's going to be outshined by the other linemen in this good class? Today, we'll be taking a look at Alt and analyzing his strengths and weaknesses to see just how far his talent could take him in the NFL. Joe Alt is statistically one of the best linemen in college football. He's likely going to end up being a unanimous All-American for the 2023 season, and he allowed just 1 sack in 2023 and 0 sacks in 2022, according to PFF. But as we all know, stats don't always tell the whole story, so now we're going to dive into the positives that pop up on tape to see just how pro-ready he actually is. The first thing that jumps out on tape is his length and his height. He stands at a towering 6'8", 322 pounds, and has very long arms to go with that. That allows him to keep defenders away from his body and often keeps them from even getting their hands on him at all. Contrary to what many would think with his size, he's actually quite fast despite being that big. Notre Dame frequently used him as a pull blocker, and he was always able to hit the hole quickly and clear the way for the running back. That's pretty rare for someone that's as big as he is, and that allows for the offensive coordinator to draw up some very creative plays in the running game. Speaking of the run game, he's an exceptional run blocker overall. He plays with elite strength, and he has no problems walling off his guy or pushing them 5 yards back into the secondary. He very rarely allows the guy he's matched up on to make the tackle, and that's led to Notre Dame running behind him a lot over the past couple of seasons, and he's always done quite well with that responsibility. Beyond just brute strength, he's also very smart in the running game. He plays with a high IQ and knows how to manipulate defenders to go where he wants them to go, and he almost never seems to have a mental lapse where he misses the guy that he's supposed to block. That's especially apparent and impressive when he's pulling. To go with all of those great things that pop out on tape, he's also well known for being a leader off the field and in the locker room. He was a team captain this year and is known for being able to get guys going and elevate the teammates around him. Notre Dame had some younger guys on the offensive line this year, and he was able to mentor them and help them develop into serviceable players. Now, I'm going to grant that this is a very minor point, but the left tackle position is one of the cornerstones of a rebuilding franchise, and teams are going to want somebody that they can rely on to be a leader on and off the field if that player is going to be around for the next decade or so. So we know that he's big, strong, athletic, quick, a good leader, and has had a great career in college. So what's the catch? Why is he not the consensus top lineman in the draft? Why isn't he a consensus top 5 pick if he has all of that going for him? To get the answers to those questions, we'll now need to evaluate and dive into the negative side of his game. I mentioned earlier that one of Alt's biggest positives is his size, but that doesn't always come as an advantage. He has a high center of gravity, and on tape, it seems pretty clear that he's susceptible to a bull rush move from time to time, despite how big he is. He doesn't seem to anchor his feet down as well as someone like Olu Fashanu, and although he was able to make it work in college, he might not get away with it in the NFL against bigger and stronger defenders. There's a few other minor issues that could draw questions about how effective he'll be early on in his career. For one thing, he tends to lunge too much, which can lead to him getting off balance and getting shed by a defender. Despite how smart he is, he can also get baited by a stunt from time to time. Now, that's a common issue for young linemen, but he could struggle to adjust to that in the NFL, especially if he goes somewhere that isn't particularly well coached or doesn't have a great line already, which is likely given that he'll probably go in the top 10. I'm also just not confident in his lateral agility at this point. Yes, he's pretty fast and moves smoothly, but he doesn't move that smoothly side to side, and while that doesn't seem like that would be a big thing for offensive linemen, that's really important for them to recover after a misstep or a moment of hesitation. He doesn't have a lot of those, but he looked very slow to recover when that did happen. The last thing that I want to bring up is that he just doesn't seem to have that fierce edge to him. Yes, he's really good in a lot of ways and is more than capable of bullying somebody, but we've seen a lot of the game's best linemen just be downright mean, and Alt doesn't play that way. He's strong enough to get the job done, but I didn't see him have that killer mentality that many coaches love, especially from somebody that specializes in run blocking. There is a lot to like about Joe Alt. He's big, strong, fast, has had a great college career, and seems to be a good leader. A lot of people think that he's clearly the best lineman in this class, and while I think that he's certainly in that discussion, I'm not sure I'm ready to give him that crown just yet. I view him as the most well-rounded of the top 3 lineman prospects, though. Olu Fashanu is the best pass blocker, but the worst run blocker of the big 3, and JC Latham is the best run blocker, but the worst pass protector. Alt is right in the middle in both categories, so he's the most well-rounded. I'm giving him a top 15 grade for the draft this year. I think his negatives go a bit more under the radar than they should, but there's no denying that he's pro-ready and will be a good player in the NFL. He's not quite my top offensive lineman yet, but that could change prior to the draft when we get more info to evaluate from him in the pre-draft process. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more draft content like this, be sure to like, subscribe, and check out the other scouting reports on my channel. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, goodbye.